Tim, a couple of years ago, we birthed something onto the market called the Spec 5s, which is a hand resin to match the ever popular specialty resin range. So we like these because it can go fast, it's aggressive, and it's got the rigid backing due to the mechanical backing on this. But always, contractors love them, but always they come back with more feedback and wanting more. So what have we done for them?
Well, we're very pleased to announce, Brando, that we have now got the Spec 5 Enduro. So based on the technology that we originally developed with the Spec 5, which was, as you said, the rigid backing, so we've got accountability in the tool. It's a mechanical mount, so we don't have the Velcro attachment, so we get extremely well balanced tool and a very positive attachment to the tool, the hand grinder or the polisher. We get all those features, but in the Spec 5 Enduro. Now we're calling it the Enduro because the main difference between the existing Spec 5 and the new Enduro product is it's got a higher surface area. So what that means, it has all those great benefits of the Spec 5, but with a longer lifetime. So where the speed benefits of the Spec 5, the original Spec 5, are not so sought after, but the contractor still wants all the other good benefits that came with the tool, as you've already mentioned. We decided to go with a higher surface area tool, so we get the lifetime. It comes with other benefits as well, but predominantly it's lifetime and probably a little bit more even scratch profile on the floor due to the bigger surface area. Probably a little bit easier to control too for those that don't have the experience or the background with the Spec 5. So lots of really good benefits. And probably another really nice feature of the Enduro is a really nice square edge right up to the edge of the tool. So getting that hard up against a wall, there's really nothing lacking there from a closeness. So a really, really good product to complement the Spec 5. It's not necessarily a replacement. We still get all the speed benefits, the open segment pattern for clearance of densifier and dust and so forth. But just one to complement the range, just to meet that part of the marketplace where contractors love that accountability, love the control, but just want a bit of extra lifetime from the tool. Hence the Enduro.
Awesome. I'm loving what you're telling me, Tim. Is there a chance we can get a side-by-side comparison?
Absolutely. Love to show you how they compare, give our viewers a bit of an idea of the different speed and hopefully texture and profile advantages, the differences between the two products.
Awesome. Let's get into it. Tim, it's always a pleasure to see the Gloss Father at work. So we've got our side-by-side comparisons here. We've got the Enduro versus the OG. Now, it's quite easy to see that there was a bit of a speed difference there. What did you notice when you were operating the two different specs?
Well, apart from the speed, which you've mentioned, I think, it felt probably about twice as fast with the Spec 5 compared to the Enduro. And again, it's designed to be exactly that way. You can probably see even in the two halves, the Enduro half, a little bit more colour than the original Spec 5. Predominantly that's because we've got higher surface area, so we've got a bit more resin transfer going on because we've got more contact surface area, more diamond abrasive obviously in contact with the surface too, so getting a slightly better refinement. So a little bit more colour, a little bit more gloss because of that refinement and that resin transfer. Obviously, as we were going through what most contractors would normally call their first resin step after grout, concrete to point of saturation, so a fair bit of build-up of potassium on the surface. They'll find the Enduro's a bit easier to control, doesn't grab as much as the Spec 5, will really start to rip and tear a bit more, so a bit more balance on the tool being held, so a bit easier to control. But yeah, it's just more, you just feel like you're massaging the surface a bit more, whereas the Spec 5 original just wants to keep going, wants to keep going into new material, where the Enduro quite happy just to sit there and massage and just gently work its way through the material, and therefore you'll end up getting that additional bit of colour, that additional bit of gloss, and so apart from the speed, they're the two main things that I would say that our users are going to really feel and experience using the Enduro over the Spec 5 original.
Awesome, thanks for that, Tim. Good to see the side-by-side comparison. Guys, the Spec 5 Enduros are now available for purchase. We've got them in the 50, the 100, and the 200 grit, not to mention the starter packs, which will come with one of each grit, a locking nut, and a spacer. So get in touch with your local Works Plus rep or dealer and get your hands on them.